Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm going to feature a little threat coming from Vladimir Putin towards the Polish leaders. I know, my Polish friends, you disagree with everything what probably Putin has to say in this little video clip. Maybe it's about a minute, not even a minute. He's going to say certain things. Now, people who don't know anything about the issue, I urge you, go and check. Study. The same with the polls. You might not like it, but hey, is it true? Yeah, I might not like a lot of things, but is it true? So Putin threatens the Polish leaders saying, you know what, if you touch Belarus, we're gonna you up. And Putin says why he thinks Poland would attack Belarus or would like to even face the Russians. Here is Vladimir Putin, a short interview I will play for ya. Ready?
Что касается польских лидеров, то, вероятно, они рассчитывают под натовским зонтиком сформировать некую коалицию и впрямую вмешаться в конфликт на Украине, чтобы затем оторвать себе кусок пожирнее, вернуть себе, как они считают, свои исторические территории, сегодняшнюю Западную Украину. Западные территории нынешней Польши – это подарок Сталина полякам. Наши друзья в Варшаве подзабыли об этом. Мы напомним. Но что касается Белоруссии, то это часть союзного государства. И развязывание агрессии против Беларуси будет означать агрессию против Российской Федерации. На это мы будем отвечать всеми имеющимися у нас средствами. Что касается польских лидеров, то, вероятно, они рассчитывают под натовским зонтиком сформировать некую коалицию и впрямую
and directly intervene in the conflict in Ukraine,
чтобы затем
in order to them tear off a bigger piece of for themselves, to regain, as they believe, their historical territories. Today's Western Ukraine, the Western territories of Poland, are Stalin's gift to the Poles. Did our friends in Warsaw forget about it? We shall remind them. Okay, so this is Putin. You might disagree with what he says, but I will show you the people who are not familiar with the issue what he's actually kind of talking about. All right, here is a map of Ukraine. Here's a map of Ukraine. That's why here is where the Russians are invaded and they are the bad dudes and all that. This is the Crimean Peninsula. These are baboons in Romania. This is Romania as well. Here is Poland right here. This is the border with Poland. Poland, Ukraine. Poland thinks that Lutsk, Lvov, this area here belongs to them. But they forget the western part was given to them by Stalin from Germany. Hey, that's a shush. Now the Poles at one point, if you look in, I think it was in the 18th century, before it was dissolved, Poland was dissolved as a country, was non-existent after 1794 or so. They were in a Commonwealth. Poland was in a Commonwealth with a little short country, small country called Lithuania. And together they had all this. Look at my strong hand. So Belarus was there, as part of Belarus. And they went down here, even to the Black Sea. All this was Polish territory here. So all this was Polish and Lithuanian. So if you go by the Poles, they should have all this. They attacked Moldova in big time right here, and they attacked Romanians, but hey, they forget about it. They attacked why? To plunder the peaceful Poles. History, you don't like it? What can I tell you? So the point here is this. When you hear some people demanding certain territories and so on, how back do you go in time? And if you go, you realize that sometimes these guys had the upper hand, the other guys had the upper hand. I don't think anybody is, without sin over there. They all did something to somebody, except the perpetual victims. You know who those are, right? They never did anything because, they are always more moral than everybody else and so on. But hey, they control a lot of things nowadays. So my Poles, maybe that's why you don't have to believe Putin or me. Just study history. And you're going to find information of what Putin said as being true. And I'm waiting for the Poles to invade here in order to protect their people In the same way, these guys invaded here, which is the Russians, invaded here to protect their people. But somehow these people are allowed to do that, but these people somehow are not allowed to do that. Why? Because Kiev was killing these guys here. So when the Russians are going to approach this way, these guys will immediately come over here and say, hey, we're going to do a peacekeeping mission over here to protect our connationals, or how do you want to call them, ethnic group. The same the Americans did in Texas, remember? And then we got the American-Mexican War, where we purchased half of Mexico's lands. How do we purchase them? By being in Mexico City with our military and say, we want this territory. The Mexicans said, that's not for sale. Say, what? My bad. All right. So I offer you 3 bids, 3 colored, how do you call it, window something, glass things, and 2 pieces of farts and 2, that was the other ones, not the Mexican. That's fact, that's a fact, all right? So nevertheless, here is what is going to be. I guarantee you the Poles will try to do that. They're already thinking of partitioning Poland, one part of the NATO influence, the other part of the Russian influence, with the ones that they already got, and a buffer zone. They're already talking about this. Who do you think will be in control of the western part of Ukraine? Ukrainians? Nah, I don't think so. So, we'll see. We'll see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.